Welcome back to another Cavaliers game reaction. Game 10, just a bad night out west for Cleveland yesterday, losing 132 to 120 against the Sacramento Kings. I said this when they played the Thunder and gave up all those points and still scored 120 and lost. If the defense is screwed just because Isaac Okoro is missing from the lineup, that is going to be trouble for the whole season, really, as long as they have the JB Bickerstaff there as head coach. It's going to be an issue if Okoro isn't there and the defense is just completely lost without him. Offensively, the Cavs put up 120 points, but pretty much all of those points were gained in an effort to try to catch up to the Kings. And if the defense isn't there, they're just going to be playing catch-up basketball, and that's not going to generate wins. The Kings shot 46% from the three-point range, and it wasn't just because they didn't take all that many and made a few of them. They took a lot and made a lot, and it's becoming a pattern for the Cavs to have opposing teams hit three after three after three. And look, it's just one thing if a team just goes off every now and then. It's the NBA. Sometimes certain teams are just going to have they're going to have really good shooting nights, but it's starting to happen on a more regular basis than I'm comfortable with, just personally as a fan. Sacramento, they also just weren't simply hitting tough shots over and over. A lot of it was open looks or late closeouts that the Kings knocked down. They were having a good shooting night, and Cleveland did not do nearly enough to make it hard on them to make those shots. And I also thought the Kings also made it tough on the Cavs defense in the interior. We have Jarrett Allen only getting 28 minutes, didn't play in the fourth quarter. I don't really think there seems to be much of an injury situation. Maybe I did miss some post-game quotes. I checked ESPN, and he's listed as active. So honestly, I don't think it would have mattered even if he did play normal minutes. I know they're trying to ease Jarrett Allen back into starting minutes after he was out to start the year. But he was getting cooked by Sabonis either way, who had 23 points on 8 of 10 shooting, had 2 blocks, and was just 1 rebound away from a triple-double. He was dominant for the Kings last night. He also had Murray, Fox, and Herter all well over 20 points on efficient shooting for the Kings last night as well. The starting unit for Sacramento really getting it done. Although Keegan Murray's best contributions to the game for the Kings just might have been his defense on Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell had 22 points, but he was just 7 of 21 for shooting, and Keegan Murray definitely having a lot to do with that with his defensive efforts. I also thought that Bickerstaff gave up on the game maybe a little bit too early before the Cavs had to. They were down 13 with about 3 minutes left in the game when Cleveland pulled their starters. Now, that definitely would have been an improbable comeback to make. It would have been a little strange, but weirder things have certainly happened in the NBA. And the Cavs, they do think of themselves as a team that is able to be competitive in every game. So there's no, to me at least, there's no reason to take your ball and go home when there's still at least a chance to escape with a W, even if it is an improbable comeback like being down 13 with 3 minutes left. But it wasn't all bad for the Cavaliers in this one. There were some positives you could take out of this. Karis LeVert with another really solid game off of the bench. If he can consistently have efforts like these off of the bench, then I do think that he can become a really reliable sixth man. He could be, again, if Karis LeVert keeps on putting up 20-some points first off of the bench, he could be getting sixth man of the year considerations. But again, way too early in the season to make those kind of bold statements, at least with any certainty anyway. We did get a double-double from Evan Mobley, including 7 offensive rebounds. I know that a lot of fans are anticipating some kind of offensive breakout in his third year, but honestly, with who else is in the lineup with him, Evan Mobley, yeah, he's going to go off offensively every now and then, but I do feel like I'd like to see Evan Mobley do, I would love to see him just become a guy who can score at will when you want him to, but if he just becomes a guy who is just really solid defensively and can get reliably 10 rebounds a game and he puts up points when he can, I think that would be a great role for Evan Mobley. But again, we like to see some more improvement, but I do think what he's doing right now for the Cavs, it isn't bad. I just feel like we've seen some other young players around his age kind of really take off, and we're seeing Evan Mobley still being good, but not necessarily taking that huge next step, and we're kind of waiting for that to happen. And hopefully it does, but I think right now Evan Mobley is still in a good spot with the Cavs, although I certainly could be better. I feel like Niang has gradually improved this year, although he did set a pretty low bar for himself to start the season. He was awful, but I feel like he's gradually gotten a little better. He's gotten more efficient with his three-point shooting. So if that continues to improve and he starts to recover to that form that we saw from him with the 76ers, I feel like Niang could definitely turn the season around from where it was early on in the year. But overall, just for this game in general and for the season, giving up 132 points, including 42 points in the third quarter when the Cavs were still heading into the second half, only down 8, to give up 42 points in that third quarter, that is not a good recipe for winning basketball. That's going to result in a lot of losses, unless you're playing in some kind of extreme, like double overtime. Giving up 132 points you're going to come out on the losing end of that probably 99 times out of 100. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far into it, leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed it and like to see more like it. You can let me know what you thought about this game and how the Cavs could do in the near future down in the comments below. But once again, thank you for watching. I will see you at the next one.